Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're viewing from. Welcome to another edition of Latoken VCTV, where we deal with trends and we deal with issues that affect you and I. Today, we'll have another interesting topic and a guest that is a member of the family to discuss this topic with. Tokenization of assets and the disruption to the financial industry is what we'll be discussing today. And with me to discuss that, Gary Fowler, who will be introducing himself a little bit later. We also welcome our audience, wherever you're viewing from, to be part of today's show. You can easily post a comment. We are live on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can be part of this show by dropping a comment in any one of these social media platforms, and we will get to see your feedback and give you a response. And also, companies, startups, businesses that are looking to go global, that are looking to expand their reach, can make a pitch on Latoken VCTV. That's what we are here for, and our team will gladly put you through the pitching process on live. So, Gary, will you kindly introduce yourself to the audience today?
Yeah, sure, Nathaniel. My name's Gary Fowler. I'm the CEO, co-founder, and president of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios, premier AI and quantum venture studio that curates companies from all over the world, in particular Africa, to go global. So we are Silicon Valley based, and as I said, I'm the CEO and co-founder of that company. I've also done 16 other companies. I was on the original management team at Click Software, sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion about a little over 2 years ago, and also Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company that I co-founded 5 years ago. Love artificial intelligence and quantum, love fintech, and love a lot of the things that are happening all over the world, in particular in Africa. So it's great to be here today.
Awesome, Gary. Thanks for that intro. So, straight on the topic of today, tokenization of assets will definitely become popular and commonplace in the near future. And with the rise of different classes of digital assets, the NFTs, STOs, and all, more technologies will be consolidated, like IoT, AI, and data analytics. Regulations will be developed around these new techs, and the enlightenment and education of these new systems will rapidly follow. So, my question to you, Gary, is what do you think are the roadblocks to achieving a fully tokenized world, and what role do you think the financial industry will play?
Well, I mean, so in the traditional, financial world, there are investment barriers too, right? Think about the amount of investment required to buy a real estate asset or piece of art. So, with tokenization, we can really lower the minimum investment threshold. So small, it becomes really a democratized opportunity, an even playing field. So we look at these opportunities, and then you look at, really being able to unlock, a liquid asset. So imagine through fractional ownership, being able to look at the real pure potential of tradable products or services on secondary markets. It really opens it up to everybody. And what we're doing now, Nathaniel, is really the democrat. I wrote a paper 6 months ago called Nikola Tesla's Dream Comes True, the democratization of opportunities. And really, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a more even level playing field that everybody can participate. So if you want to buy a Picasso, you can fractionally own it. Well, on one side, it's pretty interesting, right? You can say, I own part of this painting. Imagine having a some type of representation, maybe a reproduction of that piece of art that you can put in your house, and you're only a fractional owner. It changes everything. It allows us to all be able to participate.
Well, also, thanks for that. And now, with this democratization of opportunities and all that, financially, that would enable the regular person be part of a bigger picture, so to say. And then you and I can own Michelangelo's and Picasso's. And now, what do you think will that empower? Obviously, that will empower the middleman and those that are less fortunate, so to say. In the future, is this going to be a positive development or a negative development based on the financial hold that central banks desire to hold on finances and all that?
Well, I mean, the thing is, they're going to have to understand that they either uh, participate or they end up, not. It's just going to change everything. They're going to be forced to participate. Of course, people are going to want to have control, but the central banks are going to have to loosen up. I mean, think about it. So you can really, by having these tokenized assets, you can really improve the traceability and transparency. Each record's documented right on the ledger, so you know exactly what's going on. It changes everything, and it can be done cross borders. So the central banks, of course, they don't want to do it. I mean, it's our whole financial system is being turned up on its head because of all the cryptocurrencies, because of blockchain, because of tokenization. It's really the next level. It's like level 4.0. And uh, there's going to be resistance, but the governments, the institutions that actually embrace it are going to be the ones that win. Ultimately, they're going to win because it's going
Yeah,
to happen. It's just a matter of when.
when exactly. So, in your own, from your own perspective, can you paint a picture of how you see this new world emerge, this tokenized world emerge, and what it will mean for the everyday person, for example, in the developed world and in the emerging countries? Can you paint a picture for us to
Yeah,
just
I'm going to start. I'm getting my brush out right now, so get ready. So imagine, Nathaniel, we can tokenize all kinds of assets, right? Ranging from real estate, art, commodities, even virtual assets such as securities. So think about it. The a recent research report from institution, the World Economic Forum and Deloitte say that a large part of our future economy is going to be driven by tokenization, both by digital and physical assets. And the business value of this is going to grow to more than 176 billion by 2025 and 3.1 trillion by 2030. So we are moving in that direction. And this is a beautiful, beautiful world because we can participate. As we're starting to, it's kind of interesting how we're going, our whole lives are becoming virtual, right? I feel like sometimes, I remember this movie a long time ago called Tron. And I thought, I wonder what it'd be like to live in a virtual world. We're coming up to that world now,
exactly? You are very right. Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, look at us. Look at us already.
Yeah, look at us. I mean, my partner's met you, but I have not been to Nigeria yet to see you.
Oh
It's
yeah.
incredible. So, but at the same time, this has allowed us to really cross borders that we would never cross before, learn about things we've never been able to learn about before, and participate in things we haven't been able to participate. It's really the equalization, the democratization of these opportunities. So it's going to be explosive. Imagine 3.1 trillion by 2030. Everything from cars to ancient artifacts to art, you name it, real estate. So why not participate? If there's a piece of real estate and it's going to go up in value, why wouldn't you want to participate in that? Well, maybe you don't have, $1 billion to buy the asset, but imagine if you could participate as part of it fractionally.
Oh, yes. I mean, a lot of things crossed my mind over the weekend while making some study. And I began to think about the ancient artifacts we have in this part of the world and how they are underutilized in the sense you see some of these artifacts put up in museums in France, in central London, and it attracts millions of US dollars, in revenue, those coming to see and all that. But in this part of the world, we're still yet to get to that level. So imagine tokenizing our artifacts and making NFTs out of them, and this fractional ownership thing. I began to explore that opportunity, and like you said, it's really going to change the landscape as we know it. Is going to change the way people, and definitely it's going to put more power in the hands of people that understand the future and participate in it.
Well, I
And
mean, think about this, Nathaniel, right? I'll tell you a little story, painting a picture. You can tokenize all kinds of physical aspects, right? A bottle of wine, pills, or jewelry. Those items are usually part of a supply chain, right? From a producer to a consumer. But imagine, imagine to be able to in real time identify and prevent malicious use, to track it. We don't know. We have counterfeit goods. Well, that's exactly what IBM did in 2019. The Pacific International Airlines are international lines, and IBM ran a pilot. And it was a simple pilot. They took 28 tons of Mandarin origins from China and they tracked them to Singapore on an IBM blockchain platform. So they actually looked at what was happening, whether they were goods or not, were they legitimate or not. In Asia, there's security token issuers like Liquify. They're tokenizing sports teams so investors can invest in clubs and players. So I know you like sports, right?
oh
Imagine,
yeah,
there's a guy named Spencer Dinwiddie. He's the first athlete who was tokenized. His basketball contract was tokenized, and because they
wow,
wanted to be able, imagine what that does to fans when they can participate, right? And for him, of course, he makes more money. But imagine the kind of fan engagement you say, I own that. I own part of the contract.
exactly.
So, then and it's really, I mean, think about it. In the Bahamas, there's a company called PO8. This is a blockchain startup that works in marine archaeology. And they tokenized underwater assets worth billions of dollars because they use blockchain, artificial intelligence, robotics, and to be able to tokenize the underutilized underwater heritage assets. It's incredible. I mean, it is just incredible. So, real estate. The real estate global market reached a value of 830 billion US. Still it's unrepresented. Imagine now, because of fractional ownership, so you don't have to buy an entire property. You can buy part of a property. Then you can track it using smart contracts, etc. Think about how efficient and optimized this world is going to be, Nathaniel. It's just the dawn of a new era. This is like the difference between, when the caveman, before they had the wheel and before they rode horses. We're at that point. We're at the beginning of the 20th century when Nikola Tesla, discovered electricity and worked with Westinghouse. Think about the changes that took place in the next 30 years. So in 2018 in New York, in Manhattan, a condo became the first real estate tokenized Ethereum blockchain uh, real estate product. Imagine that. And now think about it. You can own anything anywhere and become fractional owners. And it's a little bit different. We've tried about it. We've tried about timeshares, et cetera, but this is a little bit different. The
Exactly.
difference is you can watch the value go up.
And you said something about tokenizing sports contracts, and I'm a big fantasy football fan. I mean, it sounds like fantasy football on steroids to me.
Mhm.
I mean, being able to be
Exactly
part of
right.
that.
Imagine if you could, own part of Ronaldo, you know,
Oh yeah,
so you come in, you are part of it. So it changes everything. Imagine how much more you like fantasy football, but it's no longer fantasy if you own part of the player.
oh no, it's not fantasy anymore. It's a big deal. And I am sure, like you said, it's going to open up a Pandora's box and a whole new, level of involvement and interaction. But I mean, with all the possibilities out there, with all the, like you said, anything can be tokenized. Who do you believe will benefit most from this industry? I mean, they can tell that, okay, yeah, it's going to open up a new um, road of opportunities for emerging countries, but then developed countries have more infrastructure, more structure, and all that. Who do you think will benefit most from
I
all
think we
this?
all benefit, right? Because it allows people that normally couldn't participate to be able to participate. And at the same time, by having more participation, the value of whatever that is goes up.
Oh, yeah,
So I mean, it's a win-win, right? You can participate, its a value goes up. So it just levels a playing field. So it doesn't matter if you're a 22-year-old that doesn't have a whole lot of money at this point, or somebody that's one of the richest people on the planet. We can all participate. What happens to the asset? The asset goes up because people can drive the price up.
awesome, awesome. Thank you very much, Gary. And do you have any thoughts, insights? I mean, we've come to the very tail end of today's show. Any thoughts as our audience can go away with?
Yeah, I mean, this is so, we're in the beginning of fundamental changes in our lives. We're in the beginning of how the world is going to change from a physical world to the digitally transformed world. The pandemic over the last year has really pushed it forward. But at the same time, this was going to happen. McKinsey said that 93% of the companies worldwide were looking at going through the digital transformation in 1 year. Well, we had to do it in a very short period of time. So I suggest that open your eyes, look at these opportunities, participate. Now you got to do some due diligence. You got to look at them to make sure the stuff's real, because whenever you have a new open market, all kinds of things come out, and some of them aren't that the ones you want to invest in. So just do your normal due diligence. Don't be carried away by the momentum. Understand that this is how the world's going to be, and invest wisely. At the same time, as we're going down through this digital transformation, it really is going to help us make our lives better. Not as I've said many times that there's so much data on the planet Earth today. There's 40 zettabytes of data, which would go back and forth to the moon if there were CDs 29 times and growing. We're inundated. Having systems that can optimize us, help us systems that are traceable and trackable is going to really make our lives a lot easier and open up the opportunity for all of us to participate, whether it's loans and smart contracts and blockchain or it's tokenization of assets. It just opens the participation up. And quite frankly, I'm very excited about these opportunities for each and every one of us because it's going to change our lives. Uh, People can reach me, Gary Fowler, on LinkedIn or Twitter. I'm happy to talk to you. Keep your eyes open, understand these opportunities in front of you, stay optimistic and positive, and visualize where you want to go. And if you do that, dreams come true.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Gary. And this is just a reminder to our viewers. There's some tokens, some great tokens on the LaToken platform. You could easily go to the platform, latoken.com, and check some of the great projects out there and purchase some of them. Just go to latoken.com, click buy, as easy as that. So, guys, thanks for today. I mean, Gary, thanks for today. I look forward to having you again very soon on another topic. Until then, bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.